been a long time since I've updated anything. I have a bunch of stuff to go over with the 944. It looks a lot different since the last time I posted any video. But now I need to get the 2002 up in the air and adjust the exhaust. It's making a bad rattle anytime like it just idles. So I'm gonna get under there and find out where it's hitting and try to adjust it or fix what I need to do. So I'm gonna get the 2002 up in the air. Found where it was hitting. If you look where the trans here and this flange, you push up on it, and it hits right there. So I'm going to have to clearance that. And also, check out this. Looks like something I'm going to have to attempt to fix at some point. Other than that, there is no other rust spot. I mean, there's surface rust, but no holes of any sort. And except for this one. So I'm gonna have to address that before I get this back on the road. It's gonna be a pain in the butt. I got this down. It seems like this one has enough clearance, so I'm not gonna touch that, but this one needs to come down a little bit more here. So I'm gonna grab the grinder, grind this down, and hopefully bolts up and doesn't have any issues hitting the trans. I'm not seeing any actual damage of the trans, it's just tapping there, so should be all right with that. So I grinded away right here. That should give me enough clearance for right there. I'm gonna bolt it all up and bash around on it, see if it touches at all. Alright, got everything bolted up. There's definitely room in between that now. And now when you hit it, no clunk. I think I fixed it. Man, that still bothers me. I gotta cut this whole thing out now. Bummer. Next day I got the 2002 fixed. Everything's good with that. Grinding it off was great. And now I just have to figure out the time when I'm going to address the rust that's on it, because I do not want rust on this car. But as you can see, the 944 is up in the air. I haven't even gone over the 944 yet, but I drove it about an hour and a half today, and there's some rattling in the exhaust from this cheap mid-pipe I bought. Again, it's a $700 car. I'm not throwing a lot of money into it, so let me just show you what it sounds like. When driving it, I didn't even notice it, but when I stopped, I heard this weird vibration noise. I could tell it was more internal than external, like it wasn't hitting any of these, you know, dust shields or anything, but it's coming from inside this mid pipe, which is a turbo style muffler that I just wanted to silence it a little bit more. It sounded really loud and raspy and kind of sucked. So, but this is the sound I'm hearing. So that's telling me that the inside pieces have separated from the outside. Now, the correct way to fix this is to cut it out and put a legit mid-pipe in it. But I have a week or so until the rally. I don't feel like cutting it out, putting something else in. So what I'm gonna do is send a couple long screws through the pipe, try to hold it in place, and then I'm gonna weld it to keep it shut. That way, I can get the rattling to stop. And I know it's a bad way of fixing it, but it's last minute, and honestly, I don't really care that much about the exhaust on this. It sounds like garbage. 944s with tubular headers never sound very good, so I'm going to do that. So I got some self-tapping screws. They are non-zinc because if you're going to weld, you don't want to be welding zinc. I do know that. So again, don't be doing this. This isn't the correct way to do it. I'm just doing it this way because I don't have time to order a new one and I don't really feel like doing it. If this was the 2002, I would do it the correct way, but I don't really care about this muffler, so I'm gonna do it this way. So I'm going to drill, put self-tappers in, and hopefully it will stop the rattle. So I got this one in. This definitely stopped the rattle. I'm gonna add one more on the other side. Then I'm gonna grind these down and then weld it up. Oh, you can't even see it. I'm gonna grind these down and then weld them up. So I'm gonna put one more on this side and then hopefully that stops it and I should be good to go. They're not the best welds in the world, but they'll do. I don't know, I need more practice on welding, but let's fire it up and see what it sounds like, see if there's any rattling. I'm gonna try to do this while the car's up, but I'm gonna have to open the garage door first. So let me do that. Here. So that definitely fixed the issue. I'm going to lower it down. I don't think I need it underneath. Is there anything else I should check while it's up in the air? Now that I got the car down, I might as well go over what I've done to it since you've seen it last. As you can see, the livery I put on it, it is based off of the BASF livery from the 80s BMW M1 cars. I was going for an 80s look to it, and the BASF fits perfectly, seeing how the car was already red, and all I had to do was do vinyl spirals. I actually cut this all myself, so this was the first time really using my vinyl plotter. It's not perfect, but I mean, you can see some air bubbles in places, but it will do. This up here, I put on for two reasons. The M1 did have one of these up top, but this doesn't have any sun visors. So I needed something for driving towards the sun. I didn't realize that was a big deal until I actually started driving it and realized I do need sun visors. On the back, there's this graphic that is also based off of the BMW M1 BASF livery. It is supposed to look like a cassette tape, but instead of having all the BASF stuff, I put our team and the rally, also threw our logo on there. That's all the real cosmetic, other than in the back, I threw in some shag carpet, a little bit for sound deadening, and that I can place stuff on top of it and put things in the compartments that aren't easy to be stolen. And then you saw that I put the seats in, but there's a reason why I have a harness on the driver's side. Now, this is an anti-submarining harness. That's what that is back there. So I know running with a harness on a street car is not the safest, especially if it's only a 4-point. But I have issues with the stock seatbelt. If I pull this out here, you'll see that it's got this deforming area where it's like almost like a bacon strip, and I don't feel like that's very safe for it. So I was like, okay, I'll just jump on eBay and buy another seatbelt. But what I didn't realize is when I put the roll cage in, this bar is blocking where you get the seatbelt out of. So I can't even pull this panel out because the roll cage is in the way. So this was like the only way I'd feel safe, I guess. But again, in street cars, you really shouldn't have 4-point harnesses, but I guess I went with that. Other than that, there really hasn't been much that's changed. I did have overheating issues. I noticed that one of the fans weren't working, and instead of wiring it up like it should be, again, this is a car I don't really care that much about, I threw a fan switch on. So the fan turns on. I also realized after driving in 90-degree weather that it's gonna suck with no AC. So I realized the AC compressor's still attached and still plugged up, nothing's been removed. Threw a fuse in, and I just need to get the clutch relay for the AC. And then I'm doing the R12 to R134A refrigerant retrofit. The kit's only like $40, and again, this is a car that I don't really care that much about. It's not like it's going to be, you know, a collector's car or anything. It's a pretty beat up car. So I'm going to attempt to fix and update the AC, and even if it works for 2 days of the rally, which I'll do it right before the rally, I think it's worth it because it is unbearably hot in there. Other than that, I think the next thing I'm going to show is what I'm packing for the rally. Driving an older car on these rallies, you have to prepare for the worst. A lot of people in the rally, they pack stuff just like to go to hotel because their cars are newer. I want to say at least 90% of them are 2000 or newer. So they all have the luxury items like AC, power steering, which I have neither right now. And this is, what is it, an 83, so this is like 35 years old. So I'm gonna show the stuff that I bring to prepare for the worst. And I mean, the worst is leaving the car on the side of the road and riding with someone for the rest of the rally. So that could be a possibility. But I'm hoping it'll make it. I mean, 2002 made it 3 times, so, and that one's 40 plus years old. So this is definitely gonna make it. So we'll see what I do next, I guess. I don't know. Making these things I feel weird. Okay, bye.